The following tables compare general and technical information for a number of file archivers. Please see the individual products articles for further information. They are neither all-inclusive nor are some entries necessarily up to date. Unless otherwise specified in the footnotes section, comparisons are based on the stable versions without add-ons, extensions or external programs. Archivers, note, archivers in purple are no longer in development. General information, basic general information about the archivers, creator company, license price etc. Operating system support, the operating systems the archivers can run on without emulation or compatibility layer. Linux Ubuntu's own GUI Archive Manager, for example, can open and create many archive formats even to the extent of splitting into parts and encryption and ability to be read by the native program. This is presumably a compatibility layer. Notes, a separate 64-bit Windows x64 edition version is also available. The Unix-like system port is known as P7-zip. P7-zip also is provided by FreeDOS. A Windows mobile release is available. It contains several solutions for 7-zip under both classic and New Age Amiga OS. 1. The programs for other platforms are called UNACE, do not have the same GUI, and can only perform decompression. The programs for other platforms are called RAR. This program also has a POSIX version available. General Windows CE version. Archiver features, information about what common archiver features are implemented natively. Notes, application is only for decompression. GNU-tar calls the external programs GZIP and BZIP2 to perform compression. These external programs usually come with systems that contain GNU-tar. Allows adding a variable amount of redundancy for much better error recovery. See also RAR. Extracting adding file and/or directory names into archive in either UTF-7, UTF-8 or UTF-16/UCS2 encoding to support single file directory name which contains characters from different languages. More recent versions of the zip file format have support for Unicode file names. In WinRAR 3.60, when opening 7-zip archives which contains Unicode file directory names, they will not be displayed correctly. There will be no problem extracting them, however. Does support Unicode names, but not under the default option settings. The user must tick Use OEM conversion for file names under General on the Miscellaneous tab in the configuration dialog to enable Unicode name support. Full support for Unicode files names by default is supported only for 7-zip and RAR archive formats. Command line batch compression is available only for zip and ALZ formats. UTF-8 support was completed in Release 2.5. On Unix systems the support is full, while on Windows systems, due to limitation of the Windows shell environment, double character encoded characters cannot currently be displayed in file names of archived objects, and those chars are replaced by a corrupted character. Optionally, extended characters can be set to be always replaced by a corrupted question mark character to avoid possible issues between archives and systems character encodings. Command line batch compression and expansion requires free add-on software downloaded from the WinZip website. 2. PeerZip supports file encryption and file name encryption, although only in certain types of archives, including its own P format, 7-zip, zip and ARC. Many shells have built-in zip file support. Windows Explorer has sent to zip compressed folder. Since version 3.0. Archive format support, reading, information about what archive formats the archivers can read. External links led to information about support in future versions of the archiver or extensions that provide such functionality. Note that GZIP, BZIP2 and XZ are rather compression formats than archive formats. Notes, used to, but no longer does, due to technical and legal issues. TAR implementations call external programs to perform compression, and allowing you to implement your own filters. 3. These external programs may be shipped with your operating system. GNU-tar lets you implement your own filters. 4. Allowing you to use other compression programs and filters. starting from version 11. Requires external program. More info. Archive utility itself is unable to open ISO files, but disk utility, which also comes with Mac OS X, is able to mount them as virtual disks. Requires external program. 5. Only partial support for reading proprietary SITX format. 6. FreeArc uses ARC as its file name extension, but this format is not the same as the traditional ARC file. Supports these formats as compression stream of other archive formats like tarbz2 or ISOXZ, but does not support the format as an archive itself. B1 Free Archiver for Android and B1 Online Archiver support ARJ format. Writing, information about what archive formats the archivers can write and create. External links led to information about support in future versions of the archiver or extensions that provide such functionality. Note that GZIP, BZIP2 and XZ are rather compression formats than archive formats. Notes: TAR implementations call the external programs GZIP and BZIP2, 7Z, XZ to perform compression. These external programs usually come with systems that contain TAR. Requires RARX from WinRAR. Requires external program, if you are using WinZip 11.1 or earlier. More info, requires ACE32X from WinAce. The extractor and XAD are not included in this list because they only expand archives. AZIP can also write to the following formats, BH, JAR, and LZH, updating archives is not supported. 7. Requires external program. 8. STFIT supported file formats. 9. ARC is a front-end only and requires appropriate command line programs be installed. Programs like BZIP2, GZIP, TAR, ZIP usually come with systems that contain ARC. Writing in RAR format requires a commercial program. 10. Zorkiver is a front-end only and requires appropriate command line programs be installed. Programs like BZIP2, GZIP, TAR, ZIP usually come with systems that contain Zorkiver. Writing in RAR format requires a commercial program. 11. 12. File Roller is a front-end only and requires appropriate command line programs be installed. Programs like BZIP2, GZIP, TAR, ZIP usually come with systems that contain File Roller. Writing in RAR format requires a commercial program. 13. If there are more than one, files must be grouped in a tar before being compressed. Supports the formats as stream compression of other archive format and can create compressed format like tarbz2 or ISOXZ, but cannot create an archive in these formats. It is possible to open WARN-JAR files to extract add replace file. Files WARN-JAR are still valid after that. Uncommon archive format support. PZIP has full support for various LPAQ and PAQ formats, Quad and BALZ, FreeArc format, and for its native P format. 7-zip includes read support for MSI, CPIO and XOR, plus Apple's DMGHFS disk images and the DEB/RPM package distribution formats. Beta versions have full support for the LZMA2 compressed XZ format. See also, comparison of archive formats, lossless compression benchmarks, comparison of file systems, list of archive formats, list of file systems, references. Further reading, maximum compression site benchmarking compressors for several file types. Kingsley G. Morse Jr., Compression Tools Compared, Linux Journal, Issue 137, September 2005, Patrick Schmidt, Achim Roos, 4 Compression and Archiving Solutions Compared, Tom's Hardware.